What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris. This is 4K Motoring, and we've finally gotten to the test that I've wanted to do for quite some time. For our 2001 Corvette, we had our eBay shifter, the Fidanza shifter, that was less than $100 for a short throw shifter. We've been running that for years now, and honestly, I was kind of impressed with it. There are some tolerance issues with it. It's not quite perfect, and I admit that, but it's been working and working pretty well for a while. Well, we finally decided to upgrade to a real name brand shifter. We went with one of the cheaper options for the name brand shifters. I think MGW, Tick, and Hurst are some of the big ones out there. We were able to find a Hurst shifter, a used one, and ended up installing that. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to save you guys the time and not show you the full install here. I will link a video up above when I did the Fidanza shifter, which goes through all the steps of installing the shifter itself. This Hurst shifter is exactly the same, so you could really use them interchangeably. Let's just talk about the differences. The Fidanza shifter was just stiff. That was my biggest complaint with it. The springs on it from left to right were really stiff, so to get it in first or second took a little bit of effort, and to push it into fifth, sixth, or even reverse took a lot of muscle. It was really stiff. The throws were actually really short. I had no problem with that. That was actually kind of nice. But the actual stem itself, the stalk coming out, the pins that held it in place had a little bit of slop, so the ball would rotate a little bit. And if you had not a cylindrical sort of shift knob, something that had a front and back like the OEM shift knob, it would actually wiggle a little bit, and I didn't like that at all. That is where this Hurst shifter really shines. It is very similar in construction. The tolerances are so much better. There's no side-to-side wiggle. This thing is tight. And the springs on the side are actually changeable. You can actually change, with the springs included in the kit, different springs to get the right tension that you want. So I got this in a way that I like it. It has a nice second to third, really easy push, but it's still easy to get into the far sides. So I'm pretty happy with it. It also has the ability to adjust the overall range of the throws. So there are limit screws on basically every axis, so you can control exactly how far forward, backward, side to side this thing goes, so you don't have over travel. That means once you get it into gear, you don't have to keep going. You can just stop it once it's in gear and limit your distances that you're throwing it to make it a true short throw shifter. Now, from what I've experienced with it, it is pretty short compared to stock, especially. It is short, but it is longer measurably than the Fidanza shifter. Not by much. I mean, that's 2-inch shifts. Okay, so the nose is about 5 inches. So again, we're going to test our first to second. We're at the front of the ball there. And we're at just over 2.5 inches of total travel. So there we go, not bad. That's a little bit more than half of the factory pull. The factory was 5 inches. So the factory came a little bit farther forward. It came back all the way. Man, this thing is cold and got some moisture condensating on it. It was about 5 inches. So this is definitely shorter than the factory one, and a pretty good option. So since installing this Hurst shifter, I've put about 1,000 miles on it, just to kind of give it a good shakedown in sporty driving and just cruising, to let you know my thoughts. Now again, I paid used about $200 for this shifter. It goes for not quite double that, but somewhere in the $350 range new, compared to the Fidanza shifter I was running from that basically came from eBay, and that was under $100 shipped. So the burning question is this 4 times the shifter? And the overwhelming answer is absolutely not. It is not. And with everything performance, there's always a point of diminishing returns, and I think that's it. I have no problem saying that this is a better shifter. It is smoother overall. It has the limit screws so you can make the fine adjustments so there's no over travel. The spring pressures are adjustable, and overall I think it is better. The quality of the actual shifter itself, it doesn't twist, the actual stem doesn't twist, so the tolerances are better. Overall, it is a better made shifter. It is not 4 times better. So that is where I'll keep it. I've shown you guys the measurements of how far the travel is, again, between shifters. If you're curious on the install, you can check out my first video that I have linked. That is my initial shifter install video, and this is basically the exact same process. I don't think this Hurst shifter is a bad shifter. It's definitely an improvement over stock. I have not tried yet the MGW, which is one of the other big popular ones with this generation Corvette. But as of right now, I'm gonna say the Hurst shifter is good. If you can find it on the used market where it's not full price, I think it is a deal and it's worth getting. But at full price, I'm not sure it's the one to go with, and I'll have to keep searching to see if there's something better out there.
Yeah.